Hey, been a while. Still a Rev here. It's been a minute since I've been doing these because, to be honest, I've been quite disillusioned and thrown off by the choreography that exists in the NFL. The blatant interference in the flow and outcome of games by the referees that goes unfettered. And it's ridiculous, and it's obvious. And I'm still a proponent of penalizing referees and referee crews for systemic and regular interference and influencing games with bad calls and non-calls. Case in point, the holding that was on the Steelers on Demonte Jackson yesterday when he went to block a kick, and he was held and slung down, and the referee didn't call it, and it was so obvious. It's things like that. It's just crazy. It's getting ridiculous. But enough about that. We all know about that. We all know. I just say make football watchable again. Okay? I'm old school and I like to see my games played, not choreographed. Okay? If I want to see a show, I'll watch a movie. I'll watch what is that? The Longest Yard or something like that, okay? I want to see football played, not a football play or a play about football. My assessment, so I felt behooved to make this because of what happened yesterday when the Steelers played the Commanders in D.C. or Maryland on November, 10th, 2024. This game showed me and showed a lot of things. A lot of things were very impressive. And the first thing I want to say is that they talk a lot about Dallas is them boys and Dallas is America's team, it's the Cowboys, and no other team in the NFL history has had a following that shows up for every game, home or away, in other people's stadiums, all up in their trap, and have an effect on the game like Steeler fans. They, unquestionably, we are the most dedicated and fantastic fan base there is. Every single stadium that we roll up in, and we ride. And the car is full, so ain't no bandwagon this year. Either you on from the gate or you way too late. Don't even come. We ain't trying it. Buy some memorabilia, whatever, and just watch from the couch. Cheer us on, that's fine. But if you ain't down with us now, stay up there. No other stadium holds so many, or as many fans, home and away, for any other team than the Steelers. You see black and gold everywhere in every stadium that we roll up in. You also see terrible towels waving. A lot of times they either rival or outnumber the fans for the home team. Fact. They try to copy us. Case in point, they try to come out with their burgundy and gold towels yesterday. Yeah, yeah. Um, Other teams do it too. They try, but the terrible towel is unique and it's original. Anything else is a bad imitation and quite ineffective. And it's funny that when you disrespect that terrible towel, your team ain't worth crap from that time on. It's a mystique. And there is a mystique about the Steelers and Steeler fans and our correlation with each other that is unmatched. Unmatched. Yeah, I like that. And the team definitely feeds off of that. Now, to the game itself on the field. It was a Steeler game. It's not for the faint of heart. It's going to be, we got some new wrinkles and we got some new fashion and new fangle, but there's so much traditional, old school football that is we're so steeped in that we finally may have the perfect blend of each. Now, I'm going to admit that I was one of those that was skeptical about Wilson coming, not because of his skill set. I know he's capable. Number one, I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Steeler fan, and we whooped him in the Super Bowl, and yeah, he wasn't a Steeler. That's my number one reason, to be honest, deep down. He came from somebody else. He wasn't a Steeler. But then the fact that he's short, and these kids nowadays are so huge and tall and big, how can you see around them? But somehow he manages to do it. And what I failed to realize, and I'm being honest, is that he's got the savvy. I forgot my prejudice was such that I forgot to factor in that he's got the savvy, he's got the experience. I did note that he had better numbers than all three of our quarterbacks last year put together when he was on an old funky, sorry Denver team with a coach that hated on him from before he even walked in the locker room. I'm talking about the coach. He came in hating on the man. And despite that, he put up great getting numbers. And I agreed that if he can put up those numbers with us in our defense, the way it is, as such as it is, and it's coming along even more now, we are going somewhere. And it's come to fruition. He reads the field. That X factor, he is an accomplished, well-oiled, and well-taught and experienced quarterback. And I give you props, Russ, for that. Because, yeah, Justin, I love him. He's our quarterback of the future, and I hope we keep him. I don't care. Spend the money. It would take the money that we spent on Ben, spend that kind of money on both of them, and we can keep them. You know, get Russell them 1 and 2 year contracts until he's finished and tired. But keep Fields because he is the perfect complement. He's able and capable, and he is our future. And I want him here for the long run. Let the kids stay around. We need him. And Pittsburgh loves him. They love Russell. They love Russell, but they really love Justin Fields. Take it from a fan. All right, now, we know the Steeler way is to lowball people and screw them over on salary because they can pay their top 5 players. That's just been the formula. Always has been. And hopefully it won't always be, but we can be a little more flexible. But here we go. We blew it with Tyler Boyd, which we should have had because I gave all my reasons last season and at the beginning of this season, before the season started, why we needed him. We, at the last minute, true to form, got 2 very vital pieces. One for offense, one for defense. equally distribute our endeavors, and I like that. And both of those new additions contributed in grand style. Especially with Highsmith going down. We don't know how long he'll be out, but that addition of Smith, who came through. Oh, he came through. Yeah. He's the missing link. If we get little Nicky back, TJ Jr. will be all right. And hopefully Highsmith will come back, because with all three of them, plus TJ, Queen, and Landon, we're woo. Yeah. So there's that. And Williams, Mike Williams, yeah, he did the dang thing. Him and George opposite each other on the field is frightening. I will say this: Van Jefferson is he's a good receiver. He gets open all the time. We just don't look for him. So I'm not gonna say one is better than the other and all this other stuff. I'm saying we have a very well-rounded receiving core. Hopefully Calvin comes back, because we don't look for him enough. We look for him for these little short things, but Calvin, ain't nobody gonna catch him if you get him downfield. He's not gonna get caught. So there's that. We need to look for Calvin and Van Jefferson more. Yeah, give them their flowers and let them play. Give them the opportunity. They'll come through. Trust them. That's what practice is for during the week. And now we have the addition of Mike Williams, who screwed himself because he was supposed to come in on Monday for a meeting with the Steelers, and Saturday he signed with the Jets because he drank the Kool-Aid, and he found out the Kool-Aid didn't have no sugar. Yeah. So now he's here. We got him. And it's a good thing to have, because him and George opposite each other is frightening. And then you plug in Jefferson, you plug in Calvin, you plug in whoever, and they don't know who to focus on, because it's dynamic, and we got a quarterback that can get the ball to him. That, I love that. And I hope Russell gets together with his receivers a little extra time to work out some hand signals, some eye signals, whatever that quarterbacks, the real greats, do with their receivers, who are the real greats. That's what makes them great, because they work on things together that nobody knows about but them. And they put it into practice, and it comes to fruition. It works, because there's no way to defend it, because you don't know what it is. Well, let's do that. Okay, Russ? And then you will be dangerous. Now, I'd like to commend all the guys. Everybody did the dang thing. I just got one question: why is Pierre still on the team? Every year we cut him, and every year we bring him back, and every year he does something bonehead. And I don't care who you're related to, we don't need him. He's not even that great of a special teamer that we need to keep bringing him back. Okay? We have a tendency to hold on to players that do bonehead stuff or get burned regularly, and we just hold on to them like we can't find nobody better. You got people better, you just got to give them a chance. We got defensive backs up to wahoo for the first time in a long time. Use them. Yeah. Najee. Well, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm gonna leave that alone, because you guys know where I'm at with Najee. I was giddy when we got him, because he was the best, if not the number one. He was number two, or tied for number one running back coming out of college. But we need more than 1 or 2 yards at a time, and we need you to stop dancing. You were a power runner. You wanted to be big and strong, like what's his name that plays for Baltimore now that we're gonna face this week coming up. He's a beast. Well, you done copy his physique and all that, and you run his style. It's time. Now we're gonna see. Show us. You can show us better than you can tell us. Yeah. We need more than 2 yards. 2 yards, 2 yards. 8. 2 yards, 2 yards. 1. 15. Najee, we need 5 yards, 10 yards, 20, 5 yards, 4 yards, 30. That's what we need out of you. That's what you're supposed to be built for. Play it. Play your role. You got an offensive line in front of you. Follow your blockers. Be more decisive in your cuts. You get jealous because Jalen comes in and he's decisive when making his cuts, and he makes them and he runs downhill. Well, you won't have to get jealous because he outperforms you and run to the media if you follow your blocks, do your reads, make your cuts decisively, and stop dancing. You won't have that problem. Okay? You'll get a lot more 100-yard games. And you'll open up the passing game where you can actually catch about 3 or 4 and get about 40, 50 yards on passes. More if you got the motor. Other than that, it was good to see the distribution that Russ did to his receivers. I like the fact that he's involving his tight ends, and I'm excited to see how far we can go using Darnell Washington. I like him. And I'm glad to see that Broderick is calming down a lot more. Keep working on you, young man. You got skills and you got passion. Just learn how to funnel it into technique. That's it. Just into technique. You don't have to do nothing else. You got power, you got size, you got passion. Technique. And stop being hot-headed. You don't have to be a hothead. You can protect your quarterback. You ain't got to go out there, and your running back, you ain't got to go out there and punch everybody in the head either. Okay, everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows how you feel. Now let's do some grown folk stuff. And we're looking good. We look good. I loved it. I love that everybody contributed. I love the way our new guys came in, got plugged in, and we win. It doesn't matter if it was a 1-point game. What matters is that W. So here we go. Najee, here's your chance. You're up against your role model, Henry, who's a beast. You guys remember Lamar. You've handled him every single time you've played him. Stop believing your own hype. Don't believe your own hype and just play your game and do your thing and know your role and do your job. And we'll be all right. We got to run now with a really rough schedule, but it's actually doable. We've beaten Baltimore 7 out of 8 times that we've last played them. Let's make it 8 out of 9, then 9 out of 10. We can slap Cleveland and Cincinnati around at will, especially Cincinnati. We're Ohio's daddy. We're the big brother that they've always wanted to be. And Baltimore, too. Baltimore's the only one that's come close. So it's time for us to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rev out.